Thank you for joining us.
Namaste.
So, I'm going to begin the class with a bit of three-dimensional breathing today, and then we'll just see how that leads into poses. So, let's begin. So, again, we'll come down to laying on the mat, and I think what's nice about most of us, it's good to have the knees bent and the feet on the floor because it doesn't put pressure and stress on your lower back. If you extend the legs out, it might put quite a bit of pressure on your lower back. So we'll start with them here. And then as we go into some breathing, place your hands on your rib cage and see if you can feel the width when you inhale and how the rib cage comes more to the center line when you exhale. And when you inhale, it really widens out. And when you exhale, it narrows into the center. And you can, of course, do a few of these by moving the breath down a little bit lower so you can bring it more to the lower part of the ribs, or what do they call that, sort of the phantom ribs down there, so you can feel that area starting to widen. Or you can bring it more solidly, feeling the bones of the rib cage as you inhale, breathing wide, and as you exhale towards the center. And you can even put a little pressure in there if it feels useful to really press into the ribs when you exhale. And then to let them really fill the hands up when you inhale. Now bring one hand on your head, and you can put one hand on your sacrum or even on your tailbone if you can bring it there. And it could be the top of the hand, or maybe you turn the hand, so it depends on what works for you. And see if you can feel the length when you breathe. So you want to inhale and feel your head come into your hands and your tailbone come into your hands, and then you exhale, it shortens into the center. And you can do a little pressure here, so you can exhale and press the head and the tail towards each other. And then you can inhale and let the breath fill your head into your hand and your tailbone into your hand. And then, of course, feel free to alternate the hands if it's too much to hold one in the top, one below. And then for the next dimension of the bulging and shrinking, you want one hand on your front body somewhere, so you can have it on your chest, you can have it on your abdomen or the ribs, and the other one on your back body. So this time you want to feel how you really bulge into your hands when you inhale and fill up your hands, and then when you exhale, you press the hands towards the spine, so everything's coming back into the spine. And inhale, you really fill those hands. And you can play with putting both hands on the abdomen and feeling, or from the frontal rib cage, really filling your hand with your breath, and then really pressing into the back, so you have that really coming into the mat. And then when you exhale, take your hands, if you can, and down into your thigh sockets. And when you inhale, see if you can feel the breath go in there. When you exhale, it all softens. And you could also, if you feel like doing a little movement, you can exhale, bring one leg in. Inhale, put the foot back in. Exhale, bring the other leg in. Inhale, bring the foot down. So you could do that. Make that movement totally related to the breath. Or you can just stay here, feeling the breath going into those thigh sockets. And then the easiest way to feel your armpits is to cross your hands over the chest and place the hands by the armpits. And inhale. Feel the breath go into the armpits and exhale. Again, it all comes, it's like the arms are coming much more into the center line, but you can also exaggerate this. When you inhale, you can kind of lift the elbows up a little bit. And when you exhale, you can squeeze it more into the body. Inhale, you can spread more. And exhale, you can squeeze. And then you can put your hands wherever you would like to. And see if you can feel the breath moving into all three of those dimensions and into the thigh sockets and the armpits. So when you inhale, the breath really widens, lengthens, bulges into the armpits, into the thigh sockets. And then when you exhale, it all comes into the center line, narrows, bulges, shortens. And you might even feel that crease in the thigh sockets more where, like you can press the feet a bit to feel that. So you can exaggerate the movement a little bit. And then exhale. All come in towards the center. And now, as your breathing start to begin to add a little bit of rocking by just a little bit of movement into your pelvis. It's where you press the tailbone and you can feel how that relates to the head. And when you squeeze in the abdominals here and roll the pelvis, see how that lengthens your head. So you really press into those heels to get a little bit of movement into the spine. Feels good. I feel a little bit of cracking in there. And then come to rest. And then if you wish to have your hands in your thigh sockets for this movement, extending the legs up, you can do that. If you'd like to have more action in the arm, you can bring them overhead, and then you'll feel more stretch through the armpits. So here's a few choices in this move. You can have the arms here. You can have the hands into the thigh socket. Feel how you really bend into this. And how the breath supports you here. Or you can try something with the hands across into the armpits and really breathing in and out through the armpits as you're bending. So, a couple of different ways to do this pose. And you can try a few movements with the hands in one position. And then you can also change into the other position. Whichever position you're doing, just do 2 more. And then bring the feet down. And then just take a second to notice your breath. Perhaps you feel more spread in the body, so perhaps you feel more 3D in your body. And then you can just roll over to your side and come up to all fours. And we'll do a little cat and dog tilt, or I like to call it, a lot of people call it cat and cow, but I like to call it cat tilt in the spine and dog tilt in the spine. So, using the breath, using that spine awareness, using that flexion in the hips, and that connection into your armpits, rounding the spine into cat tilt. Inhale into dog. So we'll do a few with the traditional breath of exhale as we round. Inhale as we lift the head and the tail up towards the ceiling. And now we're going to change the breath. So you're going to inhale when you roll up and exhale when the head and tail come up to the ceiling. Inhale as you roll up and exhale. And it might feel awkward at first, or perhaps it gives you some new information in your body. So it's always, always good to play with our movement habits, see what's going on, see where we have challenges, and it's always interesting to challenge. And then come back into neutral, and we'll bring the right knee towards the forehead. So the first couple, we'll do exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Then we're going to reverse it. So you're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Exhale, and then bring that leg down. And just stand, ha ha ha. You're not standing, be in all fours. And then just do a few regular breaths and notice what you notice in your body. Perhaps you feel like you're breathing more into one side or one lung, perhaps not, who knows? So we'll now bring the other knee up, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Now we're going to reverse that, and we're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And then come back into tabletop all four and just notice what you notice. And then walk the hands a hand length forward so you can tuck your toes and go into downward facing dog. And you can do a bit of walking through the dog. And then you can do a little bit of flexing in the knees, trying to bring the armpits toward the thigh, and then straighten the leg. And maybe from what we've just done, you feel a little bit more space here in the thigh sockets. Maybe not. Maybe you do, maybe not. And then go down to big toes together. Knees wide, trying to create that space in the spine. Tail to head, head to tail. And then inhale, coming up to all fours. And I'm going to swing my left leg between my hands, but you can swing the right leg just because I'm in this angle here. So you're going to come up here and you're in a bit of a lunge position. We're going to hold this a few breaths. And then you're going to tuck the toes under and really lengthen through that heel. See if you can find that stability here. And then bring the arms up through the side into lunge warrior one. And then to come out of it, bring the hands on the thigh. Drop that knee down. Hands next to your foot. And bring that leg behind. And then swing the other leg through. Hands up on that thigh. And then you can really engage the abdominals here and come forward into the lunge. And then tuck the toes under and come into lunge warrior, warrior one. And bring the arms up. Come out. Bring the hands back on the thigh. Drop the knee down. Hands down. And we come into all four again. And you can always do a couple of cat and dog tilts in between. And then coming back to neutral. And I'm slinging my left leg through, but you can always use your right leg first. Bring that leg through and bring the hands here up on the thigh. And this time, as you tuck the toes under, you're going to swivel the heel down. Find that stability in the legs. And then inhale. And lift up into warrior two pose. See if you can feel the breath really supporting you in this pose. And then to come down, you bring the hands on the thighs, pivot that leg down. And then, hands down. swing the leg behind you. And we'll do the other side. Swing the other leg through, hands on the thigh. And then as you tuck the toes behind you, you pivot that heel. Find that stability in the legs. And then float the upper body up. Couple of breaths here. And bringing the hands back, pivoting that leg around, dropping the heel, the leg down, hands down. Swing that leg, and then you can do a little bit of cat. Stretch. Now come back to neutral and swing the leg through. Hands onto the thigh. And take the back leg. Pivot that heel, and now you'll come into Disregard. So you can stay here, or you can really bring that arm up and over. Heel into that leg, all on that side, from the foot to the fingertips. And then pivot around. Bring the back knee down so you're upright. Hands down and the leg back. Now you know what's coming on the next side. So swing the leg through. Hands up. And then tuck the toes under. Heel down. Stabilize the lower body. Forearm on the thigh. You can either stay here or you can bring that arm up and over. Getting that length, that whole side stretch. And then pivot around, dropping the back leg. Knee down. Hands down. Leg down, and again you can do a little bit of cat and doll. Coming back to neutral, bring that leg through, hands on the thigh. This time as you tuck the toes under and bring that heel down, you're going to start to straighten that front leg. And look where you are already. You can keep that hand on the thigh here. And if you're open to it, you can bring the top arm up. Now, what I like about pressing the hand into my thigh, it reminds me to really use the front thigh, and it also helps to roll that shoulder down for me. So this is a nice variation to come into for disregard. And then start to bend that front leg. Bring the hands and arms around. Drop the back knee. Hands down. Back into all fours. So now you know what's coming on the other side. Swing the leg through. Hands on the thigh. Tuck the back foot. Bring that heel down. And now you slowly straighten that leg. And keep the hand on the thigh where you can really roll that shoulder blade down. And the top arm can come up. And you swing those hands around, bending the thigh, bringing the back knee down. Oh man, I'm going down on the cat. And then bringing that leg behind. Thank I guess he heard I was doing cat pose, right? Come into a downward dog. And just notice how you are in your downward dog now. And then bring the knees down, and I'm going to have to adjust myself with the cat here. And come into, see how he'll do. I've got my knees a little bit wider, but, well, no, I'm pretty good. It looks pretty funny with the cat tail coming out, doesn't it? So now put your hands on your hips, and we'll come into Parigasana. If you need something under your knees, like right here, I've got a blanket. I've got those really neat little cushy things too, so you always might want to have a little extra softness for when you do come on your knees. And then I'm going to bring the left leg out, but you can do mirror image and bring the right leg out. Now, you can play with the foot position. You can bring the, and we'll do it, how about we do it both ways, right? And you'll see what way works well for you. So we'll flex the foot. We'll inhale the arms up shoulder height. Exhale there. And inhale the palms up. And come over. And really feel that breath. Can you feel that breath just helping you stretch out that whole side body? Up, bringing that leg in. Since the floor is hard here, I can feel that on my heel, and I might want softness under my heel. It's kind of fun to have the cat to come into, a little bit of warmth on my lower legs. You never know what he's going to do. And then bring the other leg out. So this time we'll put the heel down, so we'll flex the foot, and then the second time we do it, you'll try to extend foot to the floor. And then inhale the arms up, exhale there. Inhale the palms up, and bring the back of the hand to the shin or the thigh. And see if you can really breathe into the side body, into the armpit. There's a little bit of Parsvakonasana in here, really stretching out that whole side body. And then inhale, slowly coming up, arm down, bringing the leg in. Did he move? Yeah, he kind of shifted. So I have to bring my legs closer together. Who would have thought? So we'll go to the first side again, this time with the foot down. And you know, sometimes people have tightness on the top of their foot, so and then you might just notice what's going on behind your leg, whether you tend to overstretch the back of the knee or not, and that's where you can make modifications. So then inhale the arms up shoulder height, exhale there, inhale the arms up and come over. And sometimes it's really nice to do a pose more than once, just to feel if perhaps you get a little more space in it in the second time. And then inhale, slowly coming up, arms down, bringing the leg in, and then bring the other foot out. Inhale. Up, exhale there, inhale the palms up, the top arm comes up and over, and really breathing into that side body. And inhale, slowly come up. Bring the leg in, and yeah, we are
running out of time when we began though.
So
Now just come into whatever pose you would like to use to finish the class. You can put the legs in the chair, legs up the wall. You could just lie in Shavasana, or you can lie in that first pose, Shavasana, on your back with just the legs bent, if that works for you. So whichever pose works for you as an ending or completion pose.
and then as you settle into whatever pose you have chosen to finish the class, notice as you breathe if you can feel that breath moving in and out the armpit area and into the thigh socket. You have your feet up the wall or your feet on the chair. You can actually place the hands in the thigh socket and just offer a little bit of weight so that the legs really soften into the thigh socket. So that back of the pelvis, the sacrum can really soften and spread and give its way into gravity. Depending on what position your arms are, see if you can feel the breath soften into those armpits so that your arms soften back into the shoulder girdle through the armpit. Your attention at your nostril. Feel the breath moving in. The cool air moves in through your nostril. And moves out of your nostrils. Cool air moves in through your nostrils. Warm air moves out. Perhaps a gentle stretch, arms overhead through the arms and legs. can slowly roll to your side. Come up to sitting. Namaste and happy. Thank you for watching and joining us. Namaste.